Greetings and salutation. My name is Carla Moore. I am a life coach and an alchemist, and I'm here to help you get your life all the way together. I can't do that in just this one post, but I am here to help you wrap up 2020 with a little bit of kindness, a little bit of compassion, and a lot of support. The end of the year can bring up complicated feelings for people. When you look back at the goals you had for the year before and you realize you never really achieved them, sometimes you don't really want to set any goals for the upcoming year because you're like, but I never done good with them there, so let me add more goals to it for feel, right? Some of us have recognized that New Year's resolutions don't work for us. It's a recipe for disaster because when you don't achieve everything by the second week of January, you look at yourself as a big fat failure. And then also like you get the gym membership and you got 3 times and then you miss 1 time and that 1 time turned into 1 year and then you're like, wow, I'm the worst. I'm not really here to facilitate those feelings of I'm the worst. So I'm here to introduce you to what I call the Moore method of a end of year audit. So audits are really useful because they allow you an opportunity to check in with yourself, look at what you've done, look at what you haven't done, and kind of set the tone for how you go forward. It's good for people who are trying to work on their productivity, but even outside of the realm of productivity, an audit just offers you the opportunity to sit with yourself, which, you know, is extremely important. The Moore method of the audit is very heavy on the self-love, it's very heavy on the self-acceptance, and it's what I call a feelings first approach to an audit and to goal setting. Meaning, your emotions are basically a GPS. They are going to tell you very clearly where you want to go and where you don't want to go. A lot of us avoid our emotions because sometimes they are absolutely too truthful for us, but connecting to your emotions is going to be one of the most powerful things that you have ever offered to yourself in terms of having a life that feels fulfilling and directing your life in a way that is actually relevant to who you are, right? So when you take a feelings first approach, the thing that you ask is, what do I want to feel? A lot of us are searching for particular feelings, and the things that we do in our lives, we want them to bring us closer to those feelings. So we want to feel connected, we want to feel fulfilled, we want to feel happy, we want to feel we're of service, we want to feel loved, all of that type of stuff. If you can get to the feeling you're going after, then you can figure out what are the experiences that you need to create in your life to support you in having those feelings, right? Or you can find other ways of creating those feelings for yourself, which gives you the freedom to move about more than I think a lot of us recognize that we have. So today I am going to be sharing the Moore method of doing an end of year audit that I use with my life coaching clients, right? All right, so go for a pen and a paper, or you can open up a note thing on your phone, whatever. You can pause me and go. I've unpaused myself. So the first question that you need to ask yourself is, what did you want to do in 2020, or whichever year you're watching this, right? What did you want to do? Now you'll notice I never use the word achieve. I might slip and I might say achieve because my brain works that way, but I move away from the word achieve because when you start to use words like achievement, people feel a whole heap of pressure and them start ask questions like, so what counts as an achievement? How grand does it have to be an achievement? How much time do I have to invest for it to count as an achievement? Suppose I started the process and I got 55% of the way but I didn't finish. Is that an achievement? Okay, but suppose I'm not over the 50% mark. Suppose I'm 35% of the way. Is that an achievement? So we cut out achievement. We just talk about what did you want to do last year? What did you want to do in the year that just went, right? Look at it from your personal life, your professional life, your spiritual life, and your social life. What are the things that you wanted to do? And now is the question, why? Now I know sometimes when we hear why, in particular like for Jamaicans and I think Caribbean people, when people ask us why, we assume that there is a critique behind it, and so we kind of shy away from the question why. It can be a very hard question to receive, but I'm not asking you why because I want to judge you. I'm asking you why because I want to bring you nearer to yourself. When you set out to do those things with your time, why did you want to do them? Was there an internal motivation? So is there something deep inside of you that you thought would have been fulfilled by doing it? Is there a core emotion that these things are bringing you? Is there an external or an extrinsic motivation? So maybe it was going to give you more money, or it was going to give you more power, or it was going to give you more access. And if those things are important to you, they are important to you, and that's fine. The third why is actually the one that kind of go dig up in your belly button and make you feel like you have Molly Grape and Fluxy complain, and you're going to need to drink like some Andrew's salts or something to settle your stomach. Were you doing it because you thought you should? Were you doing it because somewhere along the way it was communicated to you that this is the type of thing that someone like you should do? Were you doing it because you were trying to disprove some theory that somebody had about you? Were you doing it because you were trying to prove that you are valuable or worthwhile to somebody? Were you setting these goals for yourself because you thought they fit with who you thought you should be, rather than the person that you actually are and the person you want to be? Sit with this. Allow yourself to work through this. If you find that a lot of goals that you have for yourself are related to things that you're doing because it's a script that was written for you, don't feel ashamed. A lot of us do it. We're actually socialized into doing that. We're socialized into doing whatever will keep society happy with us and make things feel cohesive. We're socialized into being like the other people around us so that we don't rock the boat. But if you're at the point where you realize that it's not working, and even though you're not rocking the boat, somehow you're sitting in the boat and feel like you're drowned, then this is a good opportunity for you to look at those things and lovingly release them and see what else comes next for you, right? So question 1, what did you want to do in 2020? Question 2, why did you want to do those things? Question 3, what did you get done? Right? So start from the list of things where you did set out to do, where you actually get done. Boom, 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 boom. List them down. Now you're going to look on that and you're going to say, merciful Father, I never do nothing. See, they become, I did set out to do 75 things, I'm only do 20. I am a failure. Okay, cool. So after you're done with that and you take yourself through that emotional trauma, now go over here and make a list of the things you actually did. Because most of us have a list of things we set out to do, and we don't do plenty of them, but then we have a bag of other something where we did just a do. I mean, know you know, because you go on your desk and you have 5 things to achieve for the day, you achieve 1. But when you look at your notepad, you're like, oh, am I scribbling so many things to achieve 1 thing? Where did actually do? Now, when I talk about this, I talk about like what you did in your personal life, what you did in your professional life, in your emotional life. If you're somebody who live with any type of mental health concern, we want you to give yourself double tickies for everything, right? Because if you did have to overcome anxiety, every time you have to go out on the street, count that twice. If you did have to overcome depression just to go into work, count that twice. If your schizophrenia was acting up and you still managed to hold down some type of school life, count that twice. You hear what I'm saying to you? Count it twice. Even outside of people who have mental health concerns, I want you to look at the things that you have had to overcome just to function in your life, because a lot of us have had to overcome things. Things have gone bad. We've gone through breakups. Family members have died. Family members have become sick. We have pets who have run away and left us in the gaping chasm of mourning because them don't come back and we don't know what to do. All of these things happened to you and you overcame them, right? Count that for something. What are the things, the little things that you did? This email that you were so terrified of sending and you finally sent it. This person you actually went up and talked to. That family member that you've been distant from that you finally reached out to. What is the thing that you've done? What is the thing that you've changed about yourself? You used to be 25 minutes late and now you're only 5 minutes late because you've made some improvement. Make note of all of the things that you have done in the year, and yes, make note of the things that are in process. You reached out to the publisher for the book, even if you don't send a manuscript, make note of that. You have actually written the manuscript and you have spoken to one publisher, but you don't send nothing to do it. Make note of everything. The reason I'm doing this and the reason I'm focusing here is this: when we approach an assessment or an audit of ourselves, a lot of times we start off so brutal and it's almost as though we are looking for ourselves to fail, because we have, many of us, been raised in cultures where criticism is what is used to motivate people. So you tell them what they have done wrong and that is supposed to motivate them to do better. But what we are a little bit weak on is the celebration. And I actually want you to start to build celebrating yourself into your life, because encouragement sweetens the labor, right? And yourself is going to show up and do more for you when yourself is applauded, affirmed, recognized, and celebrated. And so I want you to do that. So what are the things that you actually get done? Question 4. What didn't you get done? No, don't know your tribe. That one, yeah. Barley crab, fluxy complaint, belly around, Pepto Bismol, don't feel good. Look how much things we never do. What didn't you get done? Okay, cool. Why? Again, the why is not a criticism. It's actually me trying to get you to level with yourself. Is there a personal barrier? Is there something inside of you that you were not able to overcome to get it done? Is there a systemic barrier? Are you dealing with racism, ableism, biphobia, transphobia, homophobia, misogyny? Are you dealing with the fact that you're living in a developing country and things don't work here? Are you dealing with those things? Write that down. right? I'm not telling you to give yourself excuses. I'm asking you to take an objective look at your life, because when you take an objective look at your life, then you can try to figure out a solution. If you're living inside of some fairy tale, baby, that's not going to work, right? So why? Is there that a possibility that you actually weren't interested in the thing and that's why you didn't do it? Because sometimes your actions will tell you more than your words do. Is it that you actually weren't interested in doing the thing anymore? You were only carrying it forward because you thought it looked like something you should want to do, and your actions clearly showed you that you don't want to do it? What are those things, right? Heavy on the self-acceptance, heavy on the self-acceptance, heavy on the self-love, heavy on the feelings. What are the feelings that you were looking for? Did these things that you haven't done here, did any of them look like they were going to get you closer to those feelings that you were looking for? Because if there weren't, then there's probably a reason that you didn't do them. Right? And now, I want you to draw a line under that and ask yourself this question. Question 5. How do I want to feel next year? In the next year of my life, the next 365 days of my year, how do I want to feel? And I'm not asking you to tell me how you would feel at the end of 2021 looking back. I'm asking you to tell me how you want to feel in your day-to-day, in your relationships, when you're at work, when you're engaging with your children, when you're engaging with your partner, with your pets, when you're in your spiritual life. How do you want to feel moving around inside of your body? How do you want to feel when you have to go to a doctor? How do you want to feel when you have to climb stairs? How do you want to feel in your life? Write it down. Feel it. Go there and imagine yourself and meet the love of your life, and the two of you go up and kiss up in the middle of halfway tree. I don't know. Maybe on a straight town you can do that. I don't know. Right? How you want to feel. Imagine yourself around upstairs them. Yeah, feel like rocket all of them type of something there, because what fitness, what do you want to feel? Imagine yourself finally finishing that report that has been dragging behind you for 6 months, and you put in the last full stop and you send it off. Imagine it. How do you want to feel? Do you want to feel free? Do you want to feel liberated? Do you want to feel at ease? Do you want to feel held? Do you want to feel supported? Do you want to feel like you have access to community? How do you want to feel? Right? Question 5 in your life. Now, after you sit down with all of that, I know where you want to feel. Question 6. You go back over the line and you look at all of this, something them up there, and you say, which one of these things support how I want to feel in the coming year? Which one of them do I carry forward with me? The something them where you never achieve, which one of them you want to achieve still? And but you didn't know, so I'm going to ask you, when you carry it across the line, ask yourself, is it because of an intrinsic motivation? Something that inside of me I want to fulfill? Is it because of an extrinsic motivation? Something outside of me that still contributes to me? Or am I carrying it because I think I should want to? And if there are things that you're carrying because you think you should want to, or you think other people expect you to, or you are afraid of changing, you are afraid of the discomfort of being a new version of you, even though you know that this version of you doesn't work. You're afraid it's going to rock the boat in a particular relationship. So you're going to carry on doing something that doesn't serve you, or actually not doing it, because a lot of it you haven't actually gotten done. You're going to continue pretending you want to do this thing to make somebody else happy. Deeply consider if that's how you want to spend your time. Your time is precious, honey. You are older now than when you started watching this video. Do you really want to keep doing it? Okay. So, what do I want to carry forward? Sift. What do I actually want to carry forward? Pluck out the one thing. And then what do you want to do in the next year? Like, what do you want to do in the next year? So you know how you want to feel. What do you want to do? And you can break this down. The way I break it down, what do I want to do for my body, for my mind, for my spirit? What do I want to do that is focused on healing from the past? Or what do I want to do that's focused on sowing into my future? Right? So some self-care, probably some savings goals, some more care of your body, maybe a little better relationship with your diet. Are there relationships that you need to mend, relationships that you need to let go? Is there another line of income that you need to work out? Is it that you need to find a way to live off the grid because being caught inside of this rent cycle doesn't work for you? Is it that you need to revitalize your team at work? Is it that you need to get onto another team at work? Is it that there's something that happened in the past that you're finally ready to let go of? What are the things that you want to do? And because I know that when we write these things down and we don't put a timeline, then we feel like we should all get them done by the first week in February. I'm asking you to break this down into quarters. What are the things that you want to do and when will you do them? What are you going to do from like January to March? Right? April to June. Like, break it down into little 3-month chunks. What are you gonna do? Right? And for some of us who are overachievers, I would say write it down, and then from each sector remove 1 or 2 things. because you're probably overburdening yourself and you will not be able to achieve it, and then you're going to feel like a failure, when in reality, if you did just take off one thing, you would have more success, right? So what do I want to do next year? And then there's 2 last questions that I want you to ask yourself. Question 9, who do I have to be? Who do I have to be to do those things? Who do I have to become? Do I have to be punctual? Do I have to be bold? Do I have to be diplomatic? Is there somebody around me who embodies the qualities that I need to embody to get these things done? And what do I have to do? And this is where you can start to break it out into tasks. Like, okay, what is around me that supports me in doing this? Are there people around me who can help me out? Is there anybody that I can have a little conversation with, that I can reason with? Is there a skill set that I have from a completely unrelated job that is going to help me to achieve the things I want to achieve in this job, right? Sit with yourself lovingly, with acceptance, in a mood of celebration, in a mood that recognizes that yes, you have done. And in reality, it's not that you haven't done much, it's that you have forgotten the majority of what you have done, because probably your CV is not up to date and you haven't noted it down. You are worthy of being celebrated. You are a reason to celebrate, and this is your opportunity to do that. Allow yourself to create a life that is fulfilling for you, not just the people around you. And understand that the more your goal is tied to something that is deeply personal, the more likely it is that you will muster the motivation to do it, right? So this is the Moore method of doing an end of year audit. Again, heavy on the self-love, heavy on the self-acceptance, and putting your feelings first. If you are interested in life coaching with me, or if you are a corporate entity or an NGO, you're looking for somebody to work with your team members, whether it's you want a package or a one-off thing, contact me. My coaching email address is coachcarlamore@gmail.com. That's coachcarlamore@gmail.com. Or you can find me on IG, Facebook, and Twitter at MooreTalkJA. If you have liked this video, please leave a comment, share it with somebody who you think can use it, and go on ahead and turn on the notifications, because I will be posting more things like this. Happy New Year. Please take a deep breath, step all the way back into a space of radical self-acceptance, and do not make the new year into another opportunity to feel displeased with yourself. Approve of yourself and affirm yourself, because you're doing the best you can. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Goodbye.